Fair.
More fun conversation that the people will be excited about. Which quarterback should go number one in the NFL draft? Which quarterback will go number one in the NFL draft? Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis. Those are the four popular names right now. Richardson has a lot of steam. Levis had a lot of
Richardson's got the most steam.
Richardson's steaming up the board. Bryce Young was the prohibitive one. Then Stroud had a strong semifinal. Who do you got? What are you thinking?
I think it will and should be Bryce Young. That's how I view it. I think that it was Bryce Young all along. There were one game in the college football playoff where C.J. Stroud showed up. It's one game in the college football playoff. I don't give a damn. Have I watched any tape on these guys? No. Have I even watched them play? Probably not much, to be honest. But it was Bryce all along, and I still think it's going to be Bryce. Now, this is all very dependent around who lands that number one pick. We'll talk about it in Cuck of the Week. Let's say it's a team like the Colts who trade up to the number one pick. Then it's Will Levis, because look at him. He's a fucking Colt. And
he's also a Panther, though. He's also a Panther.
He's a Colt or a Panther. So if it's a Colt or the Panthers, then I reserve the right to change my decision. But I think it'll be Bryce Young.
But from what I believe I know that Irsay said he likes the kid from Alabama. So I think Irsay actually likes who's the
But
Colts owner,
he doesn't know his name.
Right. And then our boy Josh McCown, who's now the QB's coach, you were there for that whole situation, I believe liked Stroud. So maybe Levis isn't a Colt or he's not. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. So you've got, okay. So you're saying both Bryce Young
should and will Bryce Young first overall pick.
Okay. If that's the case, give me who you think gets the number one pick then.
What's the top of the draft look like again?
Bears have the one, but they also have Justin Fields. I don't think – then it should be Houston, I believe, at the 2. And then I don't know the order after that. But who do you feel?
I think it'll be Houston. I think Houston trades up and gets that one.
I think they swap spots, gives a pick.
Yeah, and I think Chicago swaps that again. And if you are the Bears, that's what you should be doing, is just moving back incrementally and just stacking up trades for these picks and getting to where you want. Instead of the one
you say that. They should be doing is trading Justin Fields, but maybe we'll talk about that in a little. Who do I think should go number one overall? I also believe it should be Bryce Young. Who do I think will go number one? I think I'm with you. Oh. No, I think Bryce Young probably sticks it out and goes one. Richardson will be the hottest prospect, but I'll give you a short mini rant here, and I'm sorry for ranting tonight. Ravens fans, Baltimore Ravens fans, who are obsessed with this idea of trading Lamar Jackson, which lands them in the top 5, which allows them to take Anthony Richardson.
Oh, those people are out there?
You have the best version of Anthony Richardson. His name is Lamar Jackson. Now, if you want to go window, you want to go cap situation and say this, then you're replacing Lamar, you get the rookie contract. I guess I hear you. But Richardson is so raw, even rawer than Lamar Jackson was, and I just don't want to go through that process. Now, what's interesting about this whole thing is you've got Bryce Young, who's the clear best number one quarterback today, with C.J. Stroud trailing behind. Then you've got the project quarterbacks. You've got the Josh Allen types, the Lamar Jackson types, the guys who are not proven, but they've got the tools, and people are obsessed with the tools. Do I see Bryce Young as like a superstar, slinging it type guy? Maybe not. Could he be Joe Burrow and be super accurate and extend plays? He could. Do I see him as like a true number one? Does he go 1 next year with Caleb Williams? Absolutely not. Williams goes 1. So do I see the sex appeal of Richardson and Levis? Yes. What I highly recommend, though, to NFL teams is, unless you're a good organization, don't draft those kids. Unless you're the Eagles who can put the right players and coaches around a Jalen Hurts to develop him, don't draft Anthony. Like, I don't want to see Richardson playing for the Carolina Panthers. I don't want him to struggle and then be considered a bust. I don't want the Jets to go after Will Levis and repeat the same situation. If it's not an organization who can actually nurture a kid, build a team around him, then don't do it. Now, that's why I feel bad for Bryce Young. Although DeMeco Ryan seems to be off to a hot start, it's just you gotta put these guys in good positions to succeed. So
can I ask what you said a lot, but what stuck out to me is the very end. I'm just curious what in your head DeMeco Ryans has done where he's off to a good start.
DeMeco Ryans went down to Houston. He did his press conference. A lot of the players
he didn't fuck up the press conference.
Their coaches do. You know the coaches do.
Yeah, they go to Super Bowl.
It seems like he hired a pretty solid staff. It also seems like the Texans aren't in the news giving up 4 first-round picks for the number 1 just to move up a slot.
So what you're saying, is DeMeco Ryans hasn't Urban Meyer yet because he's the only. I think Urban Meyer is the only one to ever fuck up before.
Okay, well, the Carolina Panthers, everyone in the building wanted them to hire the interim coach, and they brought in the new guy. And I'm just saying that he's off to a good start. If it's just by not fucking
he's
up,
up to a good start.
It's better than the first half of the podcast. Everyone we've talked about, they've all fucked up, and DeMeco Ryans hasn't. So,
I kind of changed my mind while you were ranting. I think Anthony Richardson's going to go 1, but Bryce Young will. But the Anthony Richardson thing just reminds me of Trayvon Walker last year, where just all of a sudden he just picking up steam out of nowhere, and then he just climbed up the odds.
This isn't out of nowhere. This isn't nowhere though. For him to be people considering him top 5, it's out of nowhere. No, it's not because there was you're casual. You're casual because I know you don't watch college football. There was a 2 or 3 game stretch early in the season where
I'm an odds guy.
You know. You're an odds guy. No, I know he's steaming up because he's the hottest prospect, but I don't think he gets all the way to 1. I don't think someone will take that shot on him.
I'll never. Yeah, listen to this, dude. Anthony Richardson odds to be the number 1 pick. Opened at plus 10,000, plus 5,000 last week.
I don't care about that. It's plus 650 because a lot of people are firing on it because he's going to impress. He's got the arm. He's got the movement.
You know what? I'll never understand. How the fuck does your draft stock improve when you're not playing football? I don't get it.
Maybe people watch tape, or maybe you're not playing.
So there was just
like he's not sucking right now. Dead ass. Like he's not sucking.
That's fair.
And also, you got good press around you. You're not getting misdemeanor charges. It's
right. I was going to say everyone's not sucking right now except Jalen Carter, and that's about it. So everyone's stock should go up. I'll never understand that, but yeah, it reminds me. Anthony Richardson's going 1 because, like you said, he shouldn't go 1.
But not actually.
But maybe.
Like you would bet on it. You would bet on it.
Well, that has nothing to do with whether I actually think you will or not. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's my final take. Anthony Richardson 1-1, but probably Bryce Young.